All right, in this video, I'm going to be teaching you guys how to go from 0 to 1K on day one of testing your product. As you guys can see on this store, right now we are on the 9th, and if I go to the 8th, $0 in sales. If I go like 4 through 8, you'll see $0 in sales. Then the first day I launched the product, the 9th, 1.1K in sales. So basically in this video, I'm going to be showing you guys the entire process and my entire thought process behind finding a new product and scaling it all the way up to 1K days on your first day of testing. So I'm going to come over here to Paint and show you guys kind of how I do this. So the first thing we'll be going over is product research strategies. So basically the two things that I'll use for product research are Kalodata and Facebook ad library. And basically what I'm looking for in these products is what pain point does it solve? So I've said in past videos that I really like to look for it to solve like a big pain point or a big problem. But this product that I just launched, I might show it at the end. But with this product, it doesn't solve any of that. It's just a product that moms can gift to their kids. So you almost have to take that into account. Like obviously the products like hair loss supplements and products like fat loss supplements or products like lip plumper that can like plump up girls' lips and stuff. Obviously, those solve a bigger pain point. But let's say you're selling like a bracelet making device for kids that like mom would buy for their kids. I know I saw this product recently trending on Kalodata. That product does solve some sort of problem because maybe the mom really doesn't know what her and her kid could do together as like something like fun to do. But now there's this little bracelet making device that makes bracelets pretty easy, and it's like a bonding event for the mom and the kid. So that could be like an example of a product that doesn't solve a huge pain point, but it still solves like some sort of problem. The next thing I'll look for is TAM, which is total addressable market. So basically what I'm looking for in this is how big is the market that I'm selling to. Obviously with the example that I just said, the bracelet maker for kids, obviously a lot of moms have kids. Obviously most moms have kids. So that is a massive audience. And there's a lot of people in that audience that I can sell to. Now, if you're selling something different, like there's this one device, it's for people who went into a coma and it's like makes their hand like stretch and stuff, trying to get them like that feel back for their limbs. Yes, that's a very good product, but the total addressable market isn't that big because there's not that many people who went into coma and need that product to solve their problem just because there's not a lot of people there. The next thing I'll look for is competitors and validation. So basically for this, I'm coming over to Facebook ad library and I'm just looking like how many competitors I have. Normally for this, I kind of want them to be between like 2 or 3. And validation, normally just 1 or 2 people scaling up is enough for me to be like, all right, this product's validated. Also for validation on Kalodata, I'll do anything that's above 100K in revenue in the past 30 days. Basically, if they're above 100K in revenue in the past 30 days and they're still trending up, that's enough validation for me to be like, yeah, let me run this product. The next thing we'll go into is cost of goods. This is very important. So you want to make sure that your cost of goods are low. Normally what I look for is a 4 to 5x markup. This just gives me margins with my ads, and as I scale, my CPAs rise and my ROAS starts to decrease. This just gives me more wiggle room because I have more of a margin there. And obviously you can also fix like your rising cost per acquisitions by adding like upsells, bundles, post-purchase upsells, stuff like that to increase your AOV. But when testing, I just look for my product to have a 4 to 5x markup. The next thing we'll go into is you want to be selling a visual product. At least for me, this is one of my biggest product criterias. This basically just means like in your ad, the customer can see the product working in real time. So I use this example a lot, but if it's like a hair clip extension, when the girl like pulls her hair back, clips it in, and then now she's got like this colorful hair, brand new hair that looks really good, the customer can see that and can visually see what would happen if they bought the product because they see another girl doing the same thing. The next thing I'll go into is virality. So this is very important just because like you have to think about it like this. If you're going to buy a white t-shirt, right, you're probably just going to Amazon or you're going to Target or you're going to Walmart. If you see just a random white t-shirt pop up on Facebook ads, you're not going to click on that product because you're just like, oh, it's just another white t-shirt. I'll just go get the Hanes from Target or Walmart. This is where if you have something like viral about your product, like quote unquote the wow factor of your product, something unique, maybe it's just a new product that people haven't seen before, something that really is going to make the product stand out because we're trying to get the customer out of scrolling mode. Like customers are really just sitting scrolling all day, all day, all day. We have to take them out of that mode and into buyer mode. So that's why you kind of need this to be able to catch their eye. And as of today's date, it's the last day in August. So seasonality and Q4 products are going to be trending up a lot now. So basically what I'll do here is I'll just go to like Google Trends, or I'll just go on Kalodata and see what's popping up recently. And you can check seasonality in Google Trends. It will always be peaking around that Q4 time. Products that I like to sell in this kind of thing are products that solve some sort of like heat problem. So this could be like a blanket. This could be like an oversized hoodie, something like that, or like comfort. These are kind of the two that I look for. So like in this kind of realm of like very small product description, like you could have like heated back massagers, heated foot massagers, oversized blanket hoodies, stuff like that. Those are products that do really good in Q4 and are more like seasonal products. So now I'll come over here to Kalodata. By the way, if you guys do want to get this, this is a luxury tool service. So basically you get all of these. You get PP ads, Kalodata, Winning Hunter, ChatGPT, HeyGen. You get so much stuff. As you guys can see up here, I'm saving $1,500 in subscriptions. This whole thing is just $24.99 a month. This is basically what I use, so I don't have to be spending thousands on all these because I use almost all of these. Like right here, Creative OS is very good for image ads. HeyGen, very good for VO. Product research with Kalodata. ChatGPT Plus. Like this thing is so worth it. I'll have a link for this down below in the description if you guys do want to use this and like stop spending thousands of dollars. Like Kalodata is like $99. So literally you can get Kalodata for a fourth of the price plus all these other things if you just think about it that way. But that is in the description if you guys do want to use this. But let's get back into this. So Kalodata is like the first one that I'll use for my product research. And normally in here, I'll come over and I'll set this to 70% growth rate just so I can see products that have been trending up recently. Sometimes I'll come down here launch date and I'll play with this. I'll do like 30 days. Sometimes I'll even do 7 days. But I'm just going to keep this at all for right now. And then basically what I'm doing is I'm just kind of looking for stuff that just catches my eye. Like catching my eye off the bat, I'm reading all this like description, seeing like kind of what it is. Two is always better than one. I've seen that product before. That product's not very good, but yeah, I'll basically just come here. I'll kind of hover over these images, just kind of looking for stuff to run. So what's this? Is this some type of supplement? So I'll click on this. It's been trending up recently. Just launched pretty recently, start of August. So I'll come to the 180. Yeah, so it had a couple sales back here, but this really doesn't mean anything. This isn't gonna be on anybody's radar way back here. But if we go back to the 7 day, it is really coming up right here. So this is a product I would look into more. So I just kind of come down to the ads and kind of just see what the product's about.
My soon to be almost 4-year-old has seriously been struggling with some big emotions lately, and I have talked to every doctor I know. I have the mood, it helps with focus I have with my kids. Little gummy has completely changed the relationship that I have with my kids.
So this gummy's kind of for like kids that are moody or in bad moods. Let's just watch a couple other ones just to get a better understanding.
Parents get the saffron. My son is going back to school. He's going to be in fifth grade this year. And at the end of last school year, we tried him on the saffron gummy. And after just a few weeks, we started to notice that the teacher was like, classmates are, let's pay attention, which was incredibly reassuring. And it
All right, so it also helps with like retention and stuff too. So I like this product and it's a supplement. So we could do like a subscribe and save stuff. The one thing I really like about this product too is that it's parents buying stuff for their kids. Like parents will literally buy any like supplement, buy anything for their kid because they would rather have their kid have a better life than them. So basically the next thing I would do is that I would look to see on Facebook ad library if anybody is running these ads to see if I can rip them. So I'll come over here to the ads library. Boom. Let me go grab the name of this. Saffron gummies. And basically just throw in the name right here, and then we can look to see if anybody's running these.
I what push a bit over the top. Go give these a try.
It's not the same brand, it's not the ads.
We leave on vacation.
These guys see. All right, let me just go back to make sure to kind of see. What I always do when I'm checking for UGC is I just kind of look at the faces just so I know when I go into it, like kind of what UGC face I'm looking for that are like the same ad. So I kind of got a quick understanding. Let's see what this
Hi,
one is.
this is peaceful. These are changing my relationship meeting. I truly did.
All right, so I'm not really seeing
That
any ads that are already being ran. that we're looking for. I'll come a little bit deeper into here to do a deeper dive.
This is your friendly reminder that from Governor has been a night and day difference. Mom should
All right, I feel like you guys kind of get the gist of that. But basically, if I see nothing, if nobody's running these ads, I'll just take these top 8 ads, rip them 1 to 1, and then just send them out on the ad structure that I'm about to go over later in this video. But if there are people running some of these top ads, you guys can come down here to like the 3rd page and kind of look for ads that aren't being ran yet that you could run as well, because you guys should always be running some type of UGC ads. So even if they are lower revenue, you guys can still run these. But now I'll come back over here to Paint and we'll talk about the landing page. So now that you have your product, you have your ripped ads, now we'll talk about landing pages. So for landing pages, obviously we're just using Shopify. You don't need to use like Pagefly or like any of the other things, just using Shopify product page. That's what all we're doing. And the biggest thing you guys want to focus on is product pictures. This is the most important part of the entire landing page, is the pictures that they land on. So for this, you could just use ChatGPT, or you could find them on like Amazon. I really recommend using ChatGPT. I have another video on how to make really good ChatGPT product picture images, so you guys can go watch that one as well. I'll probably just link it below. But I'd use ChatGPT, or you can use your competitors. So you could steal your competitors' product pictures, or you can go on Amazon or TikTok Shop and use those ones as well. Or you could just use Canva as well to edit those ones up. But I would really recommend spending a couple hours on making some really good product picture images, just because this is going to be the most important part. The next most important part is your offer. So I always use Kaching bundles for this. So for this product that we just found, since where is my Kalodata? Yep. So since for this product that we just found, it's going to be super lightweight because it's a supplement and it's going to run out. So people are probably going to need 2. So basically off the rip, I can already think I'd probably, with this product, I would run buy one, get one free. That would just make the most sense because people might have more kids than just one. So if they can get one and then get another one free for their second kid, they're going to take that. And then you can offer stack it with more stuff like buy 2 get 2 free, buy 3 get 3 free, and buy 3 get 3 free, also get like free book on how to stay focused in class, just like something like that. Really simple offer. And then basically for the copy that I'll be using on my website, I'll just have ChatGPT use all this. I have another video. What I use is called the 4 docs. So it's basically 4 foundational documents where I have everything from my avatar in there, deep research on the product, offer research, and then 4 reasons why they would want to buy. So basically, I have 4 docs, including all of those, and I just feed that to ChatGPT, and it'll basically just spit me out a product page, and I'll just use all the copy from that to use on my product page. I have a video on that. I'll probably link that one in the description as well. So down here with stealing competitors, so you can basically like you can just steal their landing page 1 to 1. I would say you want to improve on something, because if you're running kind of similar ads and have the same landing page, there's not really enough that's going to be making you stand out from them if they're spending more money than you in the market. So the 2 categories where you can improve and beat them on is you can run a better offer than them, and then you can also have better product images. Like if their product images aren't that clear and the customer can't really understand what they're getting from the images, you can beat them on images. And obviously maybe they're just running a volume discount, or they're running like a buy one get one 50% off. You can beat them with the BOGO. Plus, if you offer stack, you can also put a free X in there as well. All right, the next thing we'll go over is logisticals and advertorial slash pre-landers. When testing, avoid this at all costs. Do not do this. Just run a standard PDP. One text, this is just a product page, so this is just a normal Shopify page. I'll actually pull up an example right here for you guys. It's right here. So basically like this. Just run something really simple like this. Literally, it's just a normal landing page. They have their offer right here. They have some really good product pictures. They just have some customer results right here. And then they just have a couple reviews down here. They don't even have actual reviews. They literally just have 3 quick pop-up reviews right here, and that's it. This is really all you need to test. So take inspiration from this brand right here just for standard product pages that you guys could use. Just something like this, just something really simple and really easy to put together quick. All right, the last thing we'll go into is how to test ads with all rip content. So the basics of this is literally what I just do is $100 to $150 a day on a US CBO. So basically what a CBO is instead of having each ad get individual spend, it just spends on a CBO, which is your campaign level, and just spends across all the ads and Meta will just pick which ads it thinks is the best and give them the most spend. So when you're ripping from Kalodata, you're going to want to just test with the top ads. Obviously, like I said before, if those ads are already in use, you can go to page 2 or page 3 and get ads from there. I wouldn't really scroll anywhere past that just because those ads are going to start to get a little shaky. They're not going to be as good. So try to test with the top ads. And then if you found the product on ad library, what you can do is search on TikTok for B-roll of your product and then use voiceovers with the top angle from your top competitor. So whatever your top competitor, whatever their angle is, use that angle just for validation of the product. Like obviously eventually you're going to want to try to find new angles and stuff, but just for testing purposes, just test with what's already working. So with the product that I was just on, let's say they were testing on kids ADHD for that product and they're just printing off a kids ADHD, you want to also test on that angle because you don't want to try some new angle that you don't know is going to work for sure and get just skewed data on your test, so then you don't know if that product actually works. So just test with the top competitor's angle. Also, the last thing you can do is rip the competitor's ads, but just change up the hook. So let's say they have a body with a bunch of B-roll and AI voiceovers on it. You can just take all of that, but then come up with a different hook with AI VOs. You can also put in maybe some TikTok B-roll of like the product getting used at the start, just something like that. That's basically how you're gonna get content if you found the product on Facebook ad library and you don't really have any UGC to rip off Kalodata. So one more thing I'll also talk about, because you guys are probably wondering, well, if you're only spending $150 a day, how did you get to 1.2K on the first day of testing? So what I do is I do something called surf scaling. So surf scaling. And basically what that is every hour you're doubling your budget. So let's say you started with your $150 budget. You wake up, your CPAs are good, you have a good ROAS. Like, all right, I'm profiting like 35% right now. I have healthy margins. Let me just double it. So basically what surf scaling is every single 2 hours to an hour, you're going to double your budget. So let's say this is 10, this is 12. You're at 150 at 10. You're doubling at 12. At 2, if your KPIs stay the same, you're going to double again. So then you're going to be at 600. And then 4 o'clock, you're going to double again. And then you'd be at 1200. And you're basically going to be doing that every single 2 hours until either the end of the day hits or your KPIs drop below where you need them to be. And then at the end of the day, let's say 6, 8, let's say you get 24. Let's say you end off the day and your budget was set at $2,400, but you only spent $1,200. The next day, instead of launching again at this 150, now we're going to be launching tomorrow at $1,200. So that's basically how surf scaling works. And that's basically how you guys can scale up to $1,100 days on day one of testing. Yeah, boys, that's basically how I can scale up to $1,100 day one of testing. And I do this pretty consistently across all my brands. Normally, all my brands, I'll surf scale day one, especially if I have a good KPI, good ROAS, all that shit is good. I'll hit a little quick refresh, even though I just kind of showed around, but I'll hit a quick refresh just to show that this is all legit. Load, boom, refresh. But I did just open my one-on-one mentorship. So if you guys do want to work with me one-on-one, not a random guru, not some group bullshit, just one-on-one work with me, you can apply with the first link in the description. Also, my free Discord will be down there as well, as long as the link to Luxury Tools, which was that service I was using to get Kalodata and all those good apps. Yeah, boys, thank you for watching. I hope you guys got some value from this video. I will catch you in the next video.